What's good, y'all? Welcome back to Kid Dash. Today we're going to be talking about the Golden State Warriors. This is due to the fact that last night they became the first team ever to clinch the NBA playoffs after just 58 games of basketball. I think that's right. If that's a false fact that I'm just talking dumb shit for no reason, then I'm going to look like an idiot. But I'm pretty sure that's how it happened. I'm pretty sure that's what's going on. So we're going to be talking about them, what it's going to be like in the playoffs for them, their journey to the NBA Finals, if they're ready or not. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, comment an idea down below for an idea for a video, or hit me up on Twitter for an idea for a video. I listen to anything anybody has to say. What do you want to see a video on? Let me know. Subscribe if you're new. Let's get into this. So a few weeks ago, I actually spent more time talking about, what the NBA Finals are going to be like, talking about championship contenders. And, that's a common topic. When we're through, this part of the regular season, at least now we should be more focused on the teams that are legitimately contending for the NBA Finals. Which teams do I have contending for the NBA Finals? Which teams do I think have a possibility of getting there? We'll break it down. It's always changing. But for me, some teams are pretenders. You got to watch out for the pretenders. The Golden State Warriors are not one of those teams. So the Warriors, as we know, they've been in the finals the last 2 years. They're definitely geared up for a third consecutive time. Now, do I think they'll get there? I'm not sure. It all hinges on that Western Conference Finals series between them and the San Antonio Spurs, presumably. I mean, honestly, for me, I can't see a team like the Houston Rockets getting very far. In fact, I do have the Houston Rockets losing in the first round. Yes, crazy it might seem, but I think that the Grizzlies are a playoff team. They've been there every single year. They're in that 6th spot. The Spurs, the Rockets are in that 3rd spot. Those two teams are going to go at it, and I think that the Grizzlies are going to grind out a series victory against a team like Houston that is everything goes through James Harden on that team. You contain James Harden. Tony Allen is the perfect guy to stick on a guy like James Harden. Or, they've got weapons on defense as well. They've got a good defensive stopper team. And again, like the grit and grind thing. Memphis Grizzlies, they're always underrated. They're always slept on. They always put up a fight. Every game they play is close in the playoffs, it seems like. And I think that they can take out the Rockets in the first round, which is actually much better for the Warriors, because the Warriors probably won't have to play the Grizzlies in the playoffs, because the Grizzlies winning that matchup, they'll have to face the San Antonio Spurs. Now, of course, maybe the Grizzlies don't beat the Rockets, and the Rockets play the Spurs, and then I don't know. We don't know what's gonna happen. My prediction is that the Grizzlies would win and then lose to the Spurs, and then we'll have a Spurs Warriors Western Conference Final. That will be a goddamn dogfight. I love Spurs Warriors matchups. I think they might be along with like the Cavs and Warriors battles. The Spurs and Warriors, they put up some great games. They did last season, and this season, we didn't really have much of a game as the Spurs destroyed them on opening night, and we haven't even seen them play since, which is a shame to me. They're playing again, I think the 11th of March. Don't quote me on that. I think it's early March, whenever it is. Anyway, basically the point here is that the Golden State Warriors might not have that difficult of a path to the NBA Finals. They're definitely going to get the 1 seed, I think. 4.5 games ahead of the San Antonio Spurs, barring a bad injury. Even if one of their stars gets injured, they still have those other guys. They won 73 games last season. They didn't even have Kevin Durant. If Kevin Durant goes down with the injury, they got guys that can score and, fill his role and be good replacements for him. And they're a solid team. They get W's all the time, rarely losing games. They only lost 9 games so far. I don't see the Spurs passing them. So let's just lock the Golden State Warriors in at the 1 seed for the sake of this prediction, for the sake of me calculating what's the probability of getting to the finals, or winning the finals, because I saw this thing. They have a 56 this 538 prediction system. They broke down percentages from every team in the NBA making the finals, winning the finals, getting to the playoffs, getting a certain seed. The Golden State Warriors apparently have a 56% chance of winning the NBA Finals. That's far better than any other team in the league, and it's probably just because of all that firepower they have. Now, the Warriors probably going to play against a team like the Nuggets. The Kings? No, Kings aren't making the playoffs this year. I know there was some early hype after DeMarcus Cousins got traded because they got that huge win I don't think it's going to happen. The Blazers are always a sleeper that could get in at that 8 spot. But whether it be the Nuggets, whether it be the Blazers, whether it be the Mavericks, and the Pelicans, man, the Pelicans, if they get things going, and they don't have a lot of time to do it, but if they do, they could get to that 8 seed. Don't think it's going to happen really just because there's really not a sign that that's going to happen, and they're 3.5 games behind Denver. Whether it be Denver, whether it be Portland, whether it be Dallas, none of those teams stand a chance. Golden State's taking them out 4 or 5 games, whatever. Likely 4. If one of those teams gets a win, it would be ridiculous to me. Denver's already beaten them this season, but I don't really think that they hit an NBA record of threes in that game or whatever. Golden State Warriors have a second round matchup of either the Jazz or the Clippers, most likely. If the Grizzlies can sneak into that 4 or 5 seed, then we'll have a second round matchup of the Grizzlies versus Warriors if the Grizzlies get to that second round. But the Warriors will likely play a Jazz or the Clippers, which they have no trouble with the Clippers ever, so that won't be a problem. Even if Chris Paul and whoever is playing, it would be awesome to see for me because I love Chris Paul and I think that they need to get back to the second round so bad, but I don't see it happening against Golden State. And then of course they get the Spurs. Now, I mean, I could talk about them clinching. I could be like, well, this team is so good that they already clinched. But we already know that. I mean, their expectations were so high anyway. They won 73 games last season. This team is on a record pace. So obviously they're going to clinch first. And it's not that big of a surprise, at least to me, and probably to a lot of other people, that they already clinched the playoffs and they made a record of it. Well, this team, there was a possibility it would be the greatest team ever assembled, and there still is. And I don't like it. I know a lot of you don't like it. But it's the truth, okay? Because the Golden State Warriors, they're stacked. And, thanks Kevin Durant for that. But they were already good before that. And they're going to be an NBA powerhouse team. Better get used to it, guys. Anyway, the Warriors, the only concern they should have is really the Western Conference Finals and the Finals. San Antonio Spurs will put up a good fight. Spurs never go out easy in the NBA playoffs. They will force this series to 6 or 7 games. I do not see them losing in 4 or 5. That would be very surprising. If Kawhi Leonard is healthy and playing in that series, he can have so much of an impact by himself. That's the reason why I said he was the second best player in the league, by the way. The team is so good and it's all on his shoulders, basically. He does that. He's everything for that team. Kawhi Leonard against the Warriors, it could turn out well for the Spurs. But it's going to be, I don't see this series ending in 4 or 5 games. It's going to be a 6 or 7 game series regardless of who wins. Then the Warriors have to play the Cavs. You've got to play the Spurs and the Cavs. It'll be tough for them for sure. But there's a good chance they do it. The Cavs, Warriors, it's weird. The Cavs are really stocking up. I don't know if you guys have seen, but they just picked up Deron Williams and they're about to pick up Andrew Bogut. So that team has got some firepower. Some bench production, they need it. JR and Kevin Love are going to be back for playoffs. This team could really make some, and LeBron is playing his most unselfish basketball of his career. Kyrie Irving's playing his best basketball of his career. Kevin Love's been playing his best basketball in Cleveland and maybe even of his career, as I alluded to earlier. That Cavs team is going to be scary in the finals with all those pieces healthy, if they can get everybody healthy. That's a big question mark too. The Golden State Warriors, though, are they an NBA championship team yet? No. Okay, this team is not guaranteed to win anything. I think they're guaranteed to get to the Western Conference Finals unless the Memphis Grizzlies sneak in. Memphis Grizzlies are I don't think it's going to happen, but out of every team 3 seed and down, the Memphis Grizzlies by far have the best chance of beating the Warriors, because you saw them last year. Last year they actually gave them a fight. They won 2 out of the first 3 games. They forced series to 7 games with the OKC Thunder in the past, like the 2 seed OKC Thunder. When they were a 7 seed, they got to 7 games. They always fight. They're always competitive. And they're good against the Warriors. We've seen them beat the Warriors 2 out of 3 times this season. Not saying that they will beat the Warriors or that I favor them in that series, but they've just got a better chance out of all teams, 3 and down. Now, the Cavaliers will obviously have the easiest path to the NBA Finals. They won't cross paths with anybody that's favored against them. Their first round matchup likely against the Pistons or even the Heat or someone like that. That should be an easy dub. Raptors and Hawks in the second round. I don't think that should be a problem either for them. They usually manhandle either of those teams. Eastern Conference Finals, if it's the Celtics, I think that's an easy win, easy series win for them. Wizards will give them a little bit of trouble if they play them, but I still think the Cavs could pull it out. Wizards are one of those teams though that you do never know. They're unpredictable to me. They're very good. They're super slept on, and they're a championship contender to me. But the Cleveland Cavaliers, every year they have the easiest path to the finals. So that gives them an advantage. They might not lose more than 2 games again this year in the NBA playoffs. They only lost, I think they lost 2 last year and the year before, right? Is that true? They lost like 4 playoff games in the last 2 years or something like that before the finals. They have it easy. They can rest up. The Warriors, they're going to have more of a challenge, which gives the Cavs an advantage. And if the Cavs have all those guys healthy, if the Cavs have everybody healthy, going into the NBA Finals and then they play the Warriors, I'm favoring the Cleveland Cavaliers because I think that it's just too much. Even against the Warriors, I don't see the Warriors being able to win because the Warriors, like I said earlier, like I've said before, they like to blow teams out to win. If they get in a close game, the Cavs will win close games against the Warriors. Cavs are a close game. They're phenomenal in the clutch. They're one of the best clutch teams in the NBA, if not the best clutch team in the NBA. The Warriors aren't. If this gets close, I trust the Cavs a hell of a lot more than I trust the Warriors. I don't think the Cavs with that roster, if everybody's healthy, I don't see them going down by a lot in games. Even and Steph Curry, if he wakes up, then we might not even have this conversation. But can you rely on Steph Curry being, regular season Steph Curry in the NBA Finals? I don't know. That's the big question to have. But if for me, if everybody's healthy on the Cleveland Cavaliers, regardless of how good the Warriors have been playing in the playoffs prior to that, I'm taking the Cavs. However, if the Cavs have a few missing pieces by then, which, you can't rely on that, but the Cavs always seem to have a few people injured, it seems like, then I don't know. Warriors are so dominant. And Warriors, like against the Spurs, I don't even know if I'm favoring the Warriors against the Spurs. I think that's going to be super close. But yeah, Warriors clinched the playoffs last night. They're extremely dominant. They're historically dominant offensively, and they're a great defensive team as well. So they've been doing big things on both sides. That's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and idea down below. Subscribe if you're new. I'm out. Thanks for watching, y'all. Peace.